All right. Cool. Cool. All right. All right. Shabbat shalom. 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 Israel. All praises, honor, and glory to the Most High Yahweh in the name of Son Yahweh Shai. Uh, want to pray and just pray for the whole family of Israel to scatter throughout the four corners of the earth, far and near, whithersoever the Most High done scatter them, because we do know this for a fact that amongst them is the remnant and the 144. So the Most High and the Mashiach do the choosing. All we got to do is do the work and hope that we're part of the elect or the remnant. Just continue to do the work. That's all we can do.
Right.
That's all we can do. So with that, we're gonna go on and get it in. You know, it's always spiritually rough for the remnant because they see what others can't see, and they feel what the people that sleep they don't feel. The people that's dead to the Most High, and that are awake to the madness of this world. It's just opposite with us. We don't feel like they feel. We don't see like they see, and we don't want to hear what they hear. We don't want to hear it because it's vexation of the spirit on this
Mhm.
side. Everything we love, they hate.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So it is what it is, family. But we're gonna continue to put the work in anyway, because I can't condemn nobody yet. Like I said, the
Right.
door's still open. So
Mandatory.
yeah, can't
Yeah.
condemn. I don't have the power to condemn, to kill or make alive. How about that?
That's Job 9:24 says he's blinded. First of all, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked,
Con,
and he's blinded the judges. So that's why they can't. Their eyes they're blinded. When you go into that scripture, he's blinded the judges thereof.
when you
Our
break it, when
people,
you go into the word,
our people are supposed to be judges here on the earth.
for sure,
They're supposed to be judges.
for
They're
sure.
supposed to be judges. Paul says it's not a small matter, for you to judge. You're also going to judge the angels.
Yes,
That's
you are.
the 12 thrones that the elect are sitting on, the
Yes,
12,
you
one tribe, and they have these rotations. They work in, just like in the old days, they worked in the temples. They had a season, you work, then the next person come in, he holding the judge, he's a judge. But see, right now, people, he's blinded the face of the judges, the eyes of the judges. That's why
are.
they can't understand. They don't, like he said, sing and don't comprehend, understand. That's what it is. That's where our people are right now. You know.
Well, that is a great interpretation of the precept and of the actual state of our people, because that leads us right down into the title of the message, you know, which is actually just a deep sleep, a deep sleep.
Deep
And
sleep.
when you're in a deep sleep, if you sleep or dead to the knowledge, wisdom, understanding of the Most High, there's nothing left but the world. You know what I'm saying? And once again, you serving the puppet master. And if you serving that puppet master, you done totally converted. You're not Israel. Your spirit, everything you think, walk, see, talk, do, is of him. Period. 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 You just brown on the outside. You look like Israel, but your ways and your thoughts are as your big brother, which is Edom or Esau.
Yeah.
Because he's the one in charge right now. He the one putting down or laying down the foundation of this wicked place that we all have to wake up in every day. You know what I'm
Every
saying?
every day.
Yeah, but there's a rising or resurrection in full effect, according to Hosea 6, chapter 2. And you
Mm.
know, yeah, it's a resurrection in full effect because I'm a part of it. My brother
That's right.
Adonai is a part of it.
3 days. Jose
Yes,
talked about those 3 days.
yes, sir. And we are in that resurrection. It's a spiritual war. It's spiritual warfare. It's what y'all, if y'all want to call it good against evil. We coming back to the Most High. We trying to represent righteousness. You know, we found out the way we grew up was mad. You know what I'm saying? We
Mm.
chose to come out of it, and that's that is how can I say, contrary to the wicked. They don't appreciate it. I gotta say that, you know what I'm saying? Because we all got family members, and the real remnant has actually really departed from their family. We may communicate with them, but
Mm.
no more congregate.
We've already pretty much severed. We've been severed.
And that's what the Most High
Hey,
said He's gonna do. Mm-hmm. He severed the remnant from the world. All us got the world is the people that exist. Once again, all our family members. And I'm not just talking about. We can start with us first. All family members and whoever else family members is out there that is not totally believing in the God of this Bible, which is the God of Israel, the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So that's what that is, family. And it's those are the dead. Those are the so-called 2/3. It is what it is. So hey, man, let's go on and get into it, little bro. Let's get it all. Let's start off like we do. We're gonna go to the book of Ezekiel, chapter 37, man.
mm-hmm.
Ezekiel chapter 37 and verse 9, like we do. You know?
Okay. Book of Ezekiel, chapter 37, verse 9.
Yes, sir.
Then said he unto me,
Mm-hmm.
prophesy unto
Mm-hmm.
the wind,
Mm-hmm.
prophesy, son of man, and say to the wind,
Mm-hmm.
thus says the Most High thy power,
Mm-hmm.
come from the four winds, O breath,
Mm-hmm.
and breathe upon these slain, that they may live.
Now breathe upon the slain. The slain is the one that I was just talking about. The slain are the family members that get tossed to and fro with the doctrine of the world. They believe on any and everything that blows. Whichever way the wind blow out there,
They
they
chase
go
it.
for it. And that's what I was telling you last week. As they done stepped this so-called COVID up. All
Mm-hmm.
of a sudden, they done stop mourning the deaths of all these people that they were rioting and so-called acting a fool and following after the heathen, which really was advocating this whole thing. It wasn't us. They was just trying to get us on board. You know what I'm saying? But it
Yeah.
was all over the news every day. All this. The next thing you know, all of a sudden it just shut off. Boom. You don't hear nothing else about it no more. Something wrong with that. That's a very, very strange thing. I don't hear nobody talking about it. They should be talking about that, right? They was
Mm-hmm.
out there marching about it. Why is
Yeah.
nobody, even if you ain't even knowing you Israel, I should be bumping into people like they should be saying, man, I can't believe somebody supposed to be saying something, I would think. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't riding. I wasn't out there. But if I was walking around I seen people with the Black Lives Matter shirts on with the rainbow on it and all this, they're not saying a word. The
It
same
ain't
people, they're not
cricket.
saying a word. So
Yeah.
that's the slain, that's the dead, that's the dead. That's the one
Mm-hmm.
that in deep sleep. Okay, read on. Verse. Yeah, that you was in verse 9.
So
Oh no, yeah. You went to verse 10. Go to verse 10.
so I prophesied as he commanded me.
And it's a commandment, and we're gonna read
Mm-hmm.
words of prophecy because it is a commandment. We are COTP. We know what our duty is. We know who our power is. We know who our forefathers is. Our forefathers is not George Washington, Thomas Jefferson,
Mm-mm.
and
No.
Abraham Lincoln. Okay, all forefathers or Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Those are all forefathers, and we're going to try to walk with the power, the almighty power of our forefathers, which is the true and living power of the whole world of creation. All right?
Right.
It's Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. That's what we're doing. That's what we're going to continue to do. And we're going to do it with strength, with force, and with the pointing of the finger. And
Hmm.
with the pointing of the finger. We're going to
And
do it. Let's
with the
start
finger
up at
of the
verse.
Most High, by the strength and the arm of the Most High, and the
Mm-hmm.
spirit of the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Right. But thus says the Most High, whether they hear, whether they forbear. So at that point, it's not gonna be a pretty picture. He said, "Go do it. I don't care if they want to hear it or not." Now, what's gonna come out the mouth of a prophet? It's gonna be the words of the Most High. But what he gonna bring out, who knows? But it's not gonna be nice because we're in a time right now that they got literally, what is that? They got their knee on our necks.
Mm-hmm.
George Floyd, they got their knee on your neck. Talking about you can't breathe. Of course you can't breathe. We just read right there. The Most High said, breathe upon these slain that they may live. But they killing y'all. They're killing y'all because you're not in the fold. You're amongst the congregation of the dead. You're in a deep sleep. It's a deep sleep. Go up to verse 1, same chapter. And we can start. That's actually going into what we're talking about anyway.
Okay. Book of Ezekiel, chapter 37, verse 1.
Yeah.
The hand of the Most High was upon me.
The Mashiach.
And carried me out in the spirit of the Most High.
That's right.
And set me down in the midst of the valley, which was full of bones.
See them bones in that valley. The valley is over here where we at in the Western Hemisphere. Although we scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, so wherever the children of Israel is, talking like the Ukrainians, they're talking like the Hamites, they're talking like the Australians, or they're talking like the South Africans, they're talking like the Americans, they're talking like the Latin people, which is not their forefathers, but they've taken on that custom, so they got the heritage of that their oppressor. Okay, and wherever they are, that is the valley. And in that valley are the Israelites, which are the dry bones that me and this brother was talking about earlier. All family members too. We don't want to keep talking about nobody. We'll start at the house first. Okay? But those are the dry bones, the so-called Negroes, so-called Latins, Hispanics, and the so-called Native Americans in the Western Hemisphere of Negro descent, and also the brothers and sisters that are scattered amongst the nations throughout the four corners of the earth. The scripture clearly told us earlier that we begging for the Most High to prophesy to the wind, and call on the winds from the four winds, so that they may breathe upon these slain. The slain, once again, up in verse 1, is the dry bones, and the dry bones are those Israelites, the real Israelites, the true Israelites, not the ones you see walking around perpetrating, because they don't carry the heritage. All they do is just say they're Israel. They don't believe in nothing in these scriptures because they're not living it. They're not living it. You know what I'm saying? They're not living it. So
stolen identity. Stolen identity.
Stolen identity.
Fraud. Yeah.
That's right. So
I know it.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. So yeah, I just want to break that down. Know who listening. The valley, for right now, where we at, me and my Aki right here in the Western Hemisphere, is over here in this daughter of Babylon, which y'all call America. The valley of the shadow of death and the dry bones are my people who getting beat down, shot down, slaved, tossed to and fro. No justice, no peace. That's y'all.
Right.
That's y'all. So go ahead and read.
Okay.
Verse 2.
Verse 2, and
yes,
caused me to pass by them round about. And behold, there were very many in the open valley. And lo, they were very dry. They were very dry.
No spirit, no running, no living waters, no nothing, no former rain, no latter rain. The tree or the plant is just withered up. Just withered up. But our job is to come out here that y'all may have life and have it more abundantly. And the life is the words of the Most High. We're trying to bring you back to your heritage. Show you that you are the people in the book. We're trying to give you back what was taken from you. Okay? That's what we're here to do. And we just pray once again. That's why we bring this out every time until the day comes that Mashiach close up that door. That's all we can do, family. Until then, we just pray, hey, breathe upon these slain that they may live. Let's keep reading where you was.
See, he says they were very dry.
Con.
What it makes me think about the very dry is how Mashiach spoke about when an unclean spirit in Matthew chapter 12, verses 43 through 45. He says when an unclean spirit leaves a man, it goes about looking for a dry place.
Con.
So when you think about that and you put this in with it, I don't know. Look at the state of our people.
Con.
you know. So
That's right.
these are habitable places for these evil spirits they
There,
enjoying this. Mhm.
there you go. And I was just about to say that because, you know, that was it. That's exactly what I was just about to say. So,
Okay.
and that hurts so
Verse
bad
3.
what you just said, but that's the reality of it. Go ahead,
Verse 3. And he said unto me, Son of man, can these bones live?
man.
Hmm. And
Hmm.
I answered, O Adonai, thy power, thou knowest. You know, Elohim, you know
Right,
whether they can live.
right,
They just need you. We just
right,
need a word from you, a breath from you.
right. And that's what we come here to do. We trying to do our part by delivering the word to y'all in hopes that the spirit that's within you, like that brother was saying, inside you, in that vessel, that you can relate and recollect that you are. The Most High put it in you. It's in you. You just got to tap into it. You know what I'm saying? And stop
Mm.
being rebellious. If you stop being rebellious and give ear to something, but we've been deceived once again to think that the things that's going on over here are is right. Just just no harm done is right. So if we come to our people with this, they ain't never been taught this, so they reject it. They don't have time for it. You see what I'm saying? Because once again, like I said last week, it's almost like they feel like they got to do some changing. If you mess around and get their ear, they know if they stay too long or they tarry too long right here, something's gonna happen. They're gonna have to change. They're
They
gonna have
know.
to stop doing something,
You know, I'm gonna have to do some switching. Yeah, you are. They don't want to switch. They're gonna be like Lot's wife looking back. Mm. Lot's wife looking back, missing. I wish she was back in 1994. Uh-uh.
Whoa, wow, wow. Wanna
Yeah.
do it all over again, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Man,
All right.
I
All
love dreaming. That's what they love. They love dreaming. Nah, we gotta wake up and go to work. Nah, man.
wow.
So
All right. Let's read down to verse 5.
okay, down to verse 5.
Because we still this is basically the title of the message family is that, you know, y'all in a deep sleep, you're dead, your bones are dry. So that's basically it. That's we can go on down to verse 5 with it and jump right into the message.
Okay.
Yep.
Again he said unto me,
Again.
prophesy upon these bones,
Mm.
and say to them, O ye dry bones, hear the words of the Most High.
So he said, the scripture said right there in verse 4, he said, again, he said unto me. So obviously in verse 3, Ezekiel didn't do it because he was looking at the bones like, hey, hold
You
on. You
know,
sure about this? What is this? What
it's
you
your
mean?
business.
Yeah. I mean, like, what is this? What am I talking to? Am I talking to, all this is dead out here. Like I'm at a graveyard. You want me to go out to the graveyard and start prophesying. But he said again, he said unto me, one more time, he told you, look here, Ezekiel. Prophecy trying to give Ezekiel the power too, trying to show Ezekiel something. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to show him something. Finna perform a miracle. Finna perform a spiritual work. All right. Go ahead. Start there again, Moses. I mean,
Okay.
verse 4.
Again he said to me,
Mm-hmm.
prophesy upon these bones, and say unto them, O ye dry bones,
Mm-hmm.
hear the word of the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
Thus says the Lord, the Lord thy Elohim, unto these bones, behold, I will cause your breath to enter into you, and ye shall live.
Right. So it's gonna come a time, and it ain't over. Somebody gonna wake up. Most High said He's gonna cause it, and I believe that. I know that. How I know that? Because I'm right here on this tube. I'm a witness myself. I was a dry bone too. You know, I'm still over here in the valley, but I ain't dry no more. Because I received the living water. I received my heritage. I received the fact that I am Israel, and now I know who the Most High is, and I know what it is I'm supposed to be doing now. I know all of these things.
That's
Now I
right.
just got to keep rehearsing
It's supposed to be
these
working.
righteous acts.
It's supposed to be working. He wake you up, it's time to go to work.
Come. That's right. All right. So yes, let's go to go on and explain to the family. Let's get in Isaiah 28. Verse 9 through 10. We don't want to lose nobody. We want everybody to be on board, on one accord as much as possible. We're not perfect, but we're striving to be the best we can be. You know, we want to have our lamps trimmed and preparing ourselves to go out and meet the bridegroom, family. Believe that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we want to do.
Isaiah 28, verse 9 through 10.
Okay,
Whom shall he teach knowledge?
that's right.
And whom shall he make to understand doctrine?
Them dry bones, go ahead.
See, the
Mhm.
knowledge is one of the seven spirits of the Most High spoken of in Isaiah chapter 11.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Is it chapter 11? Is
Chapter
that chapter
11,
11?
verse 2.
Yeah, because they also got the seven spirits in Ecclesiasticus too. But go ahead. You're right. That is chapter 11.
Yeah. Whom shall he make to understand doctrine?
Mm-hmm.
Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast.
Right.
For precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept,
Okay.
line upon line, line upon line,
Okay.
here a little and there a little. That's
All
right.
right. All right. Praise the Most High. So here it is, family. Here a little. Y'all already know, and we're definitely gonna be reading from here, there a little. So he says he's gonna teach those knowledge. He said, "Whom shall they teach knowledge?" You know, them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast. Now, if you drawn from the breast, that means you've been nourished already. Now it's time for you to walk. And the same thing goes to Ezekiel 37 chapter when he said he would put sinews upon them. You know what I'm saying? And he was gonna breathe upon them the breath of life. Da 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 da. Now they've been nourished. They're gonna stand on their feet, and we're gonna get into that too. We're gonna keep reading it. We're gonna break that. We're gonna go right on into that continuously every other week with that because it's prophetic. Matter of fact, we're gonna might deal with it today. Matter of fact, let me go back to Ezekiel 37 chapter. I ain't even gonna delay. I'm gonna go right on back over there. I'm gonna go right back over there.
37.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go right on back over there.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's see. Let's see. Where were we? Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. Let's start off. Verse 10.
Which one?
Verse 10. Ezekiel 37, verse 10.
Verse 10.
So this is to the ones,
Okay.
reaching out, we're screaming out to the ones that's in a deep sleep, that's very dry, the bones that are very dry, we trying to reach them. We're trying to do our best that we can reach them. All right, go ahead, Art.
Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 10.
Yeah,
So I prophesied as he's commanded me,
that's right.
and the breath came into them,
Mm-mm.
and they lived
Mm-mm.
and stood up on their feet,
That's right.
an exceedingly great army.
An exceeding great
An
army.
exceeding great army.
I heard what the miracle say. Hey, all you got to do is be obedient. Do what the Most High
That's what he told you.
said do. You know, and I'm talking to the servants right now, the
Mhm.
brothers who the Most High woke up to do this work, man.
That's right.
If you're out there, our keys, get on your job. You know what I'm saying? Believe in the Most High. Believe in the
Believe.
Most High. You know, the stuff that you think about or that you perceive ain't got nothing to do with how he think and how he feel. He just showed Ezekiel right here. He told
Just
Ezekiel.
show me.
He told him in verse 4, he said, again, he said unto me, again, because Ezekiel's standing there looking crazy. And I'm telling you, dude, hey, again, hey, Ezekiel, hey, man, wake up. Do what I'm telling you to do. You sitting here tripping, looking at these dry bones like, and I understand Ezekiel. I go out into the world every day and I see the people, and I actually, either if I'm in a vehicle, I can't wait to get in the vehicle.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just ready to just get, because
Anyway,
I don't
get
fit.
away.
You know what I'm saying? I don't fit nowhere right there. What's really going on? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, Ezekiel, like, I don't want nothing to do with this. But hey, again, he said unto Ezekiel, man, breathe. And verse 10 said, You know, and he said, so I prophesied as he commanded me. He finally got it and did what the Most High told me to do. I
Mm-hmm.
prophesied as he commanded me, but guess what? Lo and behold, they lived and they stood upon their feet, an exceeding great army. So that's the, hey man, that's the work of the Most High. I stood on my feet. That's how I know the scriptures is true. We're not just reading, y'all. The scriptures is life, okay? And the Most High is life, all right? He's the God of the living, not the God of the dead. We got to know that. We got to know that. In the memorial we holding is of the living, not the dead. We ain't going to the graveyards. We ain't sitting out there talking to the dirt. We ain't gonna do none of that. Them days over. We did that. Our family members taught us how to do that. You know, we're going to the grave this year. We're going to grandmama grave every year. Put flowers on some dirt. Ain't nobody there. Huh?
That's right.
It just was a vain custom. You know what I'm saying? It was a vain custom.
Men.
That's right. Because basically the scripture said, Most High said, all their gods are idols. You know, everything they do is vain, is vanity. You know, we went through that. I did something last week according to Ecclesiastes, and Granddaddy Solomon told him, you know, okay, I grabbed hold of a lot of the things in the world just to see what was going on in the world. You know what I'm saying? They said, Lord and behold, I found out it was all vanity. You know, because he still had the word of the Most High with him.
Mm-hmm.
Found out, you know, he was like, man, I'm tripping. I got to let all this go. This is just too much right here. I'm in sin. You know what I'm saying? This is vanity. This is foolishness. You know what I'm saying? What I'm doing. I got all this luxury, 2 or 3 Ferraris, big old mansion. I got swimming pool. I got everything, man. People bringing the gold and silver from all over the world. I got all of that. I got all these women. But then he found out, like, man, this is vanity, man. All of vanity. And vexation of spirit. He said. That's why I said that. He said it was vexation of spirit, because he had to. How can your spirit be vexed if the law of the Most High is not in you anyway? You feel me? So his spirit was vexed. He said, nah, this ain't mixing. You know, this mingled wine right here, this ain't it. This ain't it. You know, it's watered down wine. It's not the real deal.
Watered down.
It's not
strong.
So yeah, family. So hey, I'm gonna keep doing the work, because the Most High telling Ezekiel, like he telling me, and like he telling this brother, hey, just do what I tell you to do. Prophesy as he commanded me, as he commanded us. Just do what I tell you to do, and they'll live. They'll live. We read it every week where he said, well, we call on the 4 winds for witness. That's why I bring that out. I bring that out for a witness. I got me and my brother right here, but I also call the Most High and the 4 winds in the heavens to help us do what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? And let the angels carry the message forth. You know what I'm saying? From this point, because they can get there quicker than we can, real quicker than YouTube can get there. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, that's what we do, and we're gonna keep it moving up. Let me see what I got here. Got my little memo. Bam. So let's get it up. Let's go to Genesis chapter 6, verse 3.
All right.
Y'all stay with us. Genesis chapter 6, verse 3. Okay.
Great book of Genesis.
And anytime, you know how we do it. You see something that I pull or something, you want to expound on it, jump right on in, put some mayonnaise on the bread, some mustard, whatever the family need, you know what I mean? Don't give them nothing dry. We're going to try to help y'all out. We don't eat dry sandwiches around here. We do got condiments around here. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
All right.
The book of Genesis, chapter 6 and verse 3. And the Most High said, my spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh.
Right.
Yet his days shall be 120 years.
That's true, but the main part is that he said, and the Most High said, my spirit shall not always strive with man. You know, for that he also is flesh. And right now, our people in the flesh and our people in a deep sleep. The spirit of the Most High is not at all nowhere to be seen or found amongst our people out there. So, and like once again, we're dealing with those who are in a deep sleep. Those who are in a deep sleep. So the most
Mm-hmm.
I said, my spirit ain't gonna always strive with man, and right now it's not striving.
All the time, yeah.
Yeah, it's not striving with them. We're watching it. We seeing what's unfolding out here. We see the people walking around with masks on. We see the people having no problem, willing to line up and go get 2 doses of the snake venom from the serpent that was in the beginning.
That's right.
You know, I told y'all before, serpent got 2 teeth, and when he skied out of both of them, and they finna, for some reason, this serpent finna give y'all 2 doses.
And they think it's gonna be good. He'll be giving you poison all along, and you think all of a sudden now he's gonna be good.
Really,
He's gonna give you something righteous.
this is about to be the game changer. He about to really try to wrap the deal up. Is what he doing. All people
Yeah.
don't see it. They in a deep sleep. They cannot see. We keep bringing out Ezekiel 37. You know, calling on the 4 winds. We trying to do our part. We trying to do it before somebody go out there and roll their sleeve up. You know what I'm saying?
It's a
This
mess.
this is preparation, man, for destruction. That's all it is. It's hey man. It's what the spirit the scripture said. Mashiach said the blind lead the blind. You know, the
They
blind
both
lead.
fall in the pit.
Yeah, and that's all it is, man. They blind. They don't know no better, man. And they, some of them don't want to know better neither, though. Too, because I've been out there and I say certain stuff to certain people. You know what I'm saying? I be out there and they don't want to know. You know, some of it's just total rebellion and total rejection because they have totally converted to being American, if that's what they want to
Yeah.
call it. Being
Yeah.
American, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever, dude. You know, that's fine. You know, and like I told my brother, the elder at the job, or any other brother that continue to keep claiming these countries where the Most High done dispersed us to, this not we don't supposed to really. When you come in this truth, you find out that ain't what we're supposed to be claiming. Jerusalem shouldn't leave our minds. The Most High said, the King David. You know what I'm saying? King David said,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying?
That's right.
It should be here. But our people said, I'm from Haiti. I'm from, the islands. I'm from Jamaica, and we hold that. I'm from America, and we hold that as a standard. But the Most High don't like that.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? He don't
He
like
don't
that.
like it. He don't like it. He wants you to count and rely on him.
Yeah.
Y'all going to get shots, and the Most High saying what? Jeremiah 8:22. Is it because there's no balm in Gilead?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all not supposed to be seeking anybody else but me. Seek me. Seek me first.
Ooh.
Is
Hey,
it because there's no balm in Gilead?
wow. Now my kids are grown, but you got that. You got my little sister over there. Yeah. Now for what you just said right now. You
Mm-hmm.
said y'all ain't you don't you tell her you don't what I tell you. You ain't supposed to be going to nobody for no information. Now don't let me tell you again. As a father to a daughter, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
Israel is the daughter of Zion. And he just like you just implemented, like, hey, y'all supposed to be coming to me, seeking after me, but y'all, you want the wisdom of Egypt. You wanna go and praise the Pharaoh. You
Yeah.
seeking knowledge from the left hand side, y'all. So into that he gonna give you over to your own lust too, which
Mm-hmm.
is destruction. You know what I'm saying? It's not good.
That's right.
But it is what it is. So this is for we reaching out to those who are in a deep sleep. All right, fam. Let's move on. Let's move on. Let's go to Baruch chapter 3, verse 10. We're in
Baruch chapter 3,
the
verse 10. Let me write that down.
Apocrypha, the book of Baruch. hmm Chapter 3, verse 10. It's time to wake up if you can. Wake up, Israel. Still got time left. And once again, I pray that the Most High, grant the 4 winds and breathe on the slain. That's all I could do. That's all I could do. Can't beat it in you. You know,
Mm.
can't do. Can't do it. I talked to my brother here. I'd be like, I want to pray for a lot of people, but I can't pray because if I pray for them, and I feel like I'm praying against the Most High. I'm trying to
Yeah.
overthrow the Most High. That ain't what I want to do. But that's just my care. But He don't want us to care for the wicked. I'm trying not to call you wicked. The Most High call you wicked. So I can't override the word of my father. Just what I was talking about with you and your daughter. You know what I'm saying? Can't override. My daddy told me I can't go down there. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying? No.
what did he say to Samuel about Saul? How long you gonna mourn this man I rejected? You know,
Mm, mm,
how
mm.
long? Is I rejected him? Is that not good enough? Okay, well, Most High, if you reject these people,
See, you see, it hurt, man. It hurt because we got family too, family. We don't want to come across to y'all like we just all that and we perfect or we better than y'all. But the thing is, we rather obey God than men. You know what I'm saying? We don't got time to keep walling around. This we talking about this, the valley of the shadow of death again. We talking about the dry bone. We're not dry anymore. We understand we're in the valley of the shadow of death. All we trying to do now is shake somebody else up. Hey man, we've been deceived, we've been tricked. That's all we trying to do. You know, but if you take it to be offensive, then the Most High gonna deal with you. I'm gonna leave it at that.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, we in the book of Baruch, family, chapter
3
3
verse
and
10.
verse 10.
Okay, the book of Baruch, chapter 3, verse 10, and it reads, "How happeneth it, Israel,
Mm-hmm.
that thou art in thine enemy's land?
Mm-hmm.
Thou art waxing old in a strange country."
So we're not at home. That's what I was saying earlier. Haiti ain't your house. Jamaica ain't your house. America is not your house. That's your enemy's land. So if you're in Haiti, you speaking French. That's not your language, dog. That's not your language.
Yeah.
But you proud to be a Haitian. If you're in America and you speaking English, which is really not the real English, it's chopped up. It's
Mm-hmm.
chopped up. You're not an Englishman. You're not an Englishman. I mean, it's simple stuff that we can really understand, but we don't care. We don't care. You understand? We don't care. Read that again.
All right. Book of Baruch, chapter 3, verse 10.
Yep.
How happeneth it, Israel,
Yeah.
that thou art in thy enemy's land,
Yeah.
and that thou art waxing old in a strange country?
So the Most High saying, how it happened if Israel? He asking you, bethink yourself. How did you get here? How you get in this strange land? You feel me out? We fell off. We were
How did
coming
you get
here.
here? Wake up and ask yourself these questions.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically what he's saying.
Yeah, bethink yourself. Because the scriptures tell us, what is that, Second Kings?
Mm-hmm.
If you bethink yourself in the land that you were carried away captive, isn't that Second Kings or First Kings?
Uh,
When you bethink, if you bethink themselves in the land whether they were carried away captive, it may be could be Chronicles. I'm not sure because one of them is if the people which are called by my name, I think that could the one I'm quoting could be Second Kings if I ain't mistaken. If I'm not mistaken, but I don't want to get too far off the topic. It's related, it's relative because basically the scriptures is saying right here, Israel, no Salakia, how happened it Israel that thou art in your enemy's land, not your friend, your enemy's land. This is the reason why all this stuff happening to our people. This is the reason why you're on TV crying, begging, marching. This is the
please.
reason why. Yeah, because you're in your enemy's land. You're in his backyard. He don't do whatever he want to do to you because you in his land. So go ahead, Doc.
Okay. How happeneth it, Israel, that thou art in thy enemy's land,
Mm-hmm.
that thou art waxing old in a strange country,
Mm-hmm.
that thou art defiled with the dead?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
just as bad
defiled.
as the dead. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
you
got dead
defiled.
bodies all around
You know what I'm saying? You
you.
defiled with the dead. Because the dead is those that are outside the covenant of the Most High. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? They dead. You're defiled with them because you're taking on their customs. You're doing all that. You're worshiping the God of the dead. Believe that once again, because their customs, once again, skull and bones, always got devil horns, signs, everything that's
Every
crazy, and wicked. Those are the signs and those are the things that they uphold to be cool and okay with them.
they ain't think that's cool. That's cool to them,
But it is cool to
right?
them. That's what those are their gods. It should
Yeah,
be cool to them. And what should be cool to us is our God. That should be cool to us. The God of Israel, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, supposed to be cool with us. That should be okay with us. We're supposed to be representing that. It's fine that the nations represent their gods. You know what I'm saying? That's fine.
hmm
That's what he gave them to. But the Most High chose us to be a peculiar people, above all people upon the face of the earth. So, hey, and we can't go against that. Like you like to quote, he'll have mercy on who we want to have mercy on. You
that's
know,
right.
nothing we can do about that. But get with it. Just
First
get with
King,
it, you know.
First King chapter 8.
In 46,
First King chapter 8, verse 47.
47. That's I figured it
Uh,
was. You got that up. You got it up.
I got it.
Bring it on out. It's relevant.
First Kings chapter 8, verse 47. Yet, if they bethink themselves
Mm-mm.
in the land whither
See?
they were carried captives,
See?
and repent, and make supplication unto thee in the land of
Hey,
them that
don't
carried
don't
them
don't read that too fast. Don't
captive.
start that over because
We
it's a
start
lot of
over.
stipulations going on right there. Now, it ain't that simple. It's simple if you jump
Mm-hmm.
on the bandwagon. But
Got to savor each
yeah,
word has to be
thank
saved.
you, thank you, because it's definitely a lot of meat in them words, word by word.
See, you
Like
got to take a word, then take a drink.
I ain't mad at you.
Take a word, then take a
Hey,
drink.
do what you gotta do, cause I gotta go get me something. But that's a lot going on right there. I want to make
Let's
sure
get
that
it.
word is thick.
Yeah.
Make a gravy out of that word.
King
Make
chapter
gravy.
8, verse 47.
Uh,
Yet, if they bethink themselves
see.
in the land whither they were carried captives,
Mm-hmm.
and repent,
See. That's why I said don't go too far. Most I ain't gonna let you get away. Hey, you can be thank yourself all you want to, but
if you don't
he
repent
said repent. Stop doing what you're doing.
and turn.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, bro. All right. Okay.
Yet, if they shall bethink themselves in the land
Mm-hmm.
whither they were carried captives,
Mm-hmm.
and repent,
Mm.
and make supplication unto thee
Mm-hmm.
in the land of them that carried them captives,
Right.
saying, we have sinned and have done perversely.
Mm-hmm.
We have committed wickedness,
Mm.
and so return unto thee with all their heart and with all their soul, and the land of their enemies, which led them away captive, and pray unto thee toward their land, which thou gavest unto their fathers, the city which thou hast chosen, and the house which I have built for thy name.
Hey man, that is so much going on in there, but it's a lot going on. He telling
Mhm.
you how to. If you want to come back to my house, though, this is what you got to do now. The door is open, but you just can't come back any old kind of way, man. And that should be respectable. That should be acceptable. If anybody got is a house, even you don't got to own a house, you stay in an apartment, you stay in a shack. But if it's yours and you got stipulations on how you want to run your domain, then that's it. If you once again, I have to go back. If we like being in the flesh, I just use people of the flesh for an example. You got kids. You don't want your kid busting out windows, smoking weed in your house, or doing that's crazy, and you tell them not to do it. That they got to get out of here after. If you keep telling them they don't stop, they got to go. But if they say with their whole heart that they sorry and they want to come back and they show you fruits of repentance, then you can allow them to come back in your house. And that's just it. Why the Most High can't get that same respect? You know,
Exactly.
why the Most High can't get that same respect? We
If
give it
his
to humans
house is a
all
house
day
of
long.
order, then our house should be a house of order.
Yeah, the Most High can't get no love from His own creation, but the creation can love each other the way they want to. But when it comes to the Most High, don't nobody want to give up no love. So okay, thank you for that precept, Bob.
Yeah.
Thank you for that
All,
precept.
all the most highs. And thank me, thank him.
Thank
Yeah.
you. So let's move on. Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 2 verse 14. Mm-hmm.
Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 14.
Yeah.
All right, book of Jeremiah, chapter 2 and verse 14.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I was looking for it.
Oh
Thank
yeah.
you. Thank
Oh
you.
yeah. Praise the Most
Yeah.
High. There it is,
Is
man. We
is
get it.
Israel a servant?
I don't know.
Is he a homeborn slave?
I don't know. Cause we love being on the bottom. Look like we love keep asking people to stop doing this, stop doing that, when we should be trying to be on the top. That's just flat out. Sometimes you gotta retaliate. You can't keep asking people, don't slap me. You gotta retaliate. And if it ain't nothing but to draw back from them, come out from among them, and be ye separate. If you just do that, you know how much that'll hurt these people over here if they find out you don't want to deal with them no more. You know how hurting that is. Seriously. So Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just it. Read that again up.
Is Israel a servant?
Right.
Is he a homeborn slave?
I don't know.
Why is he spoiled?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Why is Israel spoiled? And you spoiled spiritually. You've been robbed spiritually. So when somebody rob you of your mental, they can do what they want to do. It's just like Mashiach said, you got to come back unto him as a child, meaning this here got to be clear so he can deal with you and install in you the things of the kingdom. But on the left hand side, if the puppet master done robbed you of who you are, your name, your Elohim, don't know where your land is, you don't know nothing. So if you don't know nothing, that means nothing is zero. Zero is empty up here. Now he's gonna fill you up with his philosophy, with his vain madness. And the next thing you know, of course you are a slave to him. Of course you're gonna do whatever he wants you to do. You know what I'm saying? Of course all your idols are gonna be Thomas Jefferson and Lindsay
Your
Lohan.
forefather. You
Yeah.
call them your forefathers. They
Mhm.
made my forefathers.
Right. You don't know nothing else. You don't have. They done cut all your prominent men off, and the
Now,
ones that they put in front of you, your Martin Luther Kings and all these other guys, they were sold to him.
hey,
They come
now,
before you. You know.
not that take it back to Job 9:24. The earth
Again, the
given into the
infamous
hands
Job
of the wicked.
9:24.
They have blinded the eyes of the judges thereof. They blind them.
Mm.
So you don't know what's going on. You whatever they tell you, yeah, yeah. That's my forefather, yeah. Abraham, Thomas, uh-huh.
Right. Right. So, and I'm glad you brought that out because throughout all the messages I bring forth, that scripture ain't gonna never go nowhere to me. I can see that because right now wickedness is trying to bust through the roof. You know what I'm saying? It's trying to bust through the roof. So wherever this wickedness is coming from, I'm gonna lay on that scripture. I'm gonna lay on that scripture and I'm gonna have to bring that forth and let people know where the wickedness is coming from.
Yeah.
If they don't want to figure out who's running the world, that's fine. Fine. Stay in that deep sleep, but I'm telling you, it's coming with a price. It's coming with a price. To be sleep is coming with a price. All right. The valley of the dry bones. When you dry, the Most High say He gonna wake you up out of your graves. What is that all about?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna wake them up. That's how dead they was out there. You so sleep. The Most High said, man, look, man, and that's love. I'm gonna send Ezekiel down through here and wake y'all up. You know what I'm saying? That's
Mm-hmm.
love, Bob. Cause He ain't got to. He the creator, y'all. You ain't got to respect the
You
Most High.
got to.
Y'all ain't got to respect. Nobody has to respect the Most High. He take what he's the creator. He kill and he make alive.
That's
Now
right.
y'all believe that. Believe that. You don't got to, man. He gonna show everybody himself. pretty soon here. All those self-willed people and everybody who just want to continue going and doing what they want to do, he got news for him, bro. All right? He got news for him. So here's what I want to do. Okay, let's pick that too. Okay. Let's do it. Okay, because there's a lot going on even above the scripture that I just pulled. So go up to verse 4 for me, bro.
All right. Hear ye, book of Jeremiah, chapter 2, verse 4.
Yes, sir.
Hear ye the word of the Lord, O house of Jacob, and all the families of the house of Israel. Thus says the Most High, what iniquity have your fathers found in me, that they are gone far from me, and have walked after vanity, and are become vain?
Y'all vain, nothing, useless. Sleep.
Yeah.
Sleep. You know, you like eating from the graveyard. You know, you like eating from the left-hand side. Y'all sleep and you loving it. The Most High trying to see what's really going on with you. Yeah.
What I do to y'all?
There you go. What did I do to you?
Yeah.
What I do to you? I thought I had breathed the breath of life in you. Look like I breathed the breath of death in you. You know, it is what it is though. But y'all chose death. He set before you life and death, but you chose death. You know, but we was as kids, we didn't know no better coming out of ancient Egypt. You know, running around wild, had been sprayed and overlaid with wickedness. Sprayed and overlaid with wickedness. That's all we knew, bro. We couldn't wait to take our clothes off.
Couldn't wait.
No, we couldn't wait to take our clothes off because we were used to walking around butt naked. Pharaoh said it was cool. You know, it's okay. Matter of fact, I'm gonna make weed legal. Just get high. Everywhere you go, you can smell it. In the Walmart, you can smell it. Everywhere you go, you can smell it from miles away. And it's fun. Yeah.
Don't worry about going back. No. Dumb down. Stay dumb. You need to stay dumb.
Y'all, them Negroes like, give it to them. That's what Pharaoh said. Give it to them. Because I'm fixing to make them sin against their father.
Nah, that's Romans 1. He gave him up. Hey, he done gave him whatever you want.
Okay, pull that right quick. Pull it. Might as well get it. Okay.
Romans 1.
Yeah. And I just said that, you know, the Most High, like, hey, what, you know, did I breathe the breath of death into you? No.
What I do? Why you tripping like that?
Yeah, he gonna give you over to that foolishness. That's what he gonna do. And by the time Paul went to speaking, we was way out of line. You know what I'm saying? Because many centuries done went by. Now, we should have known better by now. I can see back in the book of Exodus and all that being just made a nation. We fall and stumble. You know what I'm saying? But by the time Paul came along out, man, wickedness done shot through the roof. It's just like modern day America right here. Yep.
Okay, let me see.
Yeah. Romans chapter 1.
Okay, book of Romans chapter 1.
Mm-hmm. What is it? Around about 20, 26 or something? What is it? Yeah. Yeah.
Let's go 20.
Right. Go up a little bit. Shoot, man.
I'll read all because this is all really.
I know, man. It's hard to just.
21.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So.
Okay.
Yeah. It is what it is. You know, hard to go by that, man.
I'll start at 20. Romans 1 verse 20. All right. For the visible things of him from creation of the worlds are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead, so that they are without excuse.
Hold on, we ain't gonna go too far. Like I said,
that's it. Boom.
Yeah, Bro, we're gonna have to read this again. Let me see something here. It says, verse 20, for the invisible things of him, of the Most High, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, from the creation, from the beginning, y'all, of the world, are clearly seen without a shadow of a doubt.
You can clearly see.
Yeah, you can clearly see. Ain't no sleep. You want to be sleep. You want to be sleep out. There's no way you can walk out your house with a pair of drawers on and a bra and talking about, and you not know that ain't right. You're right. You see what I'm saying? And you not know. You got two people walking around in this Walmart. You got a grown man walking around in his drawers, and his wife, she got on a bra and some panties, and they shopping. And that's it. That's cool. There's no way. You doing that because you got something inside of you that just, it's defiant, but that's the go ahead. That's the go ahead spirit from this spirit. That puppet master that's telling y'all to go right on down. Just do what you want to do. Do as you will.
Yeah.
Do as I will. Yeah, and the scripture said they're clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made. So the things that the Most High his creation, the animals, the birds, the ants, the goats, the sheeps, the cows. Y'all see all that. Y'all know it's a creator. Y'all know it's a creator. Go ahead, bro.
So, like you said, let me see. Where's
We was at 20.
20. So let's do 21. Because
let's finish reading verse 20 because this is going.
Let me start all over verse 20. Let me start all over.
Yeah.
The invisible things of him from creation of the world are clearly seen.
Yeah.
Being understood by the things that are made.
Yeah.
Even his eternal power and Godhead.
Okay.
So that they are without excuse.
Bam.
Without excuse. Because that when they knew the Most High, Elohim, they glorified him not as Elohim, neither were thankful.
And that's what I was saying. By the time Paul went out and started doing this, we knew better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Back then in the days coming out of Egypt, we just wild running around. But at this point off, we knew better.
We knew better.
And Paul up in Rome, so you know what they were doing in Rome, how they were rocking. They rocking like they rocking right now today.
Wrestling naked.
Like they done lost their mind.
All kind of weird stuff. Like I said, wrestling naked, doing all kind of. Yeah. They had that island of the women. That's what Lesbo Island or something they called it. Bunch of women. Yeah.
Come on. They got them things going on right now today.
Yeah. Yeah.
They can go to an island right now where everybody just walking around butt naked, eat them or food with here. So, and those brothers that sold themselves to sports and entertainment, they brought all those ancient Roman Greek customs back. They had if you just Google on your phone, Dwayne Wade, or this other tall dude with the eyebrows connected, unibrow, you got LeBron, you got all of them on the front cover of Sports Illustrated, butt naked.
Well, see, it starts even before then. They're being groomed in college. That's why they pledging to these gods and these Greek goddesses, these fraternities. And even before then, they're being groomed to pledge of allegiance. You pledge to no one but the Most High.
Thank you for that. I put that in one of my videos.
Mm-hmm.
Put your hand over your heart, and that's an oath.
You're taking an oath.
You're taking an oath,
to somebody who don't care about you. They will kill you. Your life, like you basically giving your life to them when you pledge allegiance.
Thank you, sir.
Like he said,
he deep sleep, man.
That's those ones that hadn't defiled themselves with virgins in the book of Revelation. When you go over to Elijah, when he said, I got 7,000 of them over here in the cave that hadn't bowed a knee to Baal or kissed them. Now, blowing the kisses is pledging, is basically glorifying and worshiping with your lips. Bowing the knee or doing none of that stuff. The Most High don't need that. I can't use you if you don't change yourself with that stuff. You better repent.
I can tell you something deeper than that. When you say or kiss them, Baal represents Satan, and the worship of the butt or the behind. I'm just gonna
Oh yeah.
worship of the butt is actually a satanic custom is that goes back to the butt or the anus being the mouth of Satan. So
Yeah, I saw that. Saw that.
somebody tell you to
Saw that.
kiss they behind, that
Mm-hmm.
comes from them. Not we say that and not knowing what we saying, but
Saw that.
my girl saw it on a video we was watching one day. And she said, "What the?" I said, and I had to explain to her that's what's going on right there, because
Yeah.
Satan bent over, people walking by actually kissing his
Mm-hmm.
rib. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, what you just
Yeah, I
saying.
saw that.
Okay, okay.
That's a lot. Like those groves, those what they call them, the
The
columns that they would set up in the little groves when they went,
Bohemian Groves. Okay.
huh?
Now or back then?
Back then.
Okay, because they doing it now still,
They
right now.
doing it again now. Yeah.
To
Like
Malcolm
they
and
call it now
Mosaic.
monument, the Washington Monument. That ain't nothing but the I forget obelisk.
Obelisk. It's an
Obelisk.
obelisk or a phallic
Yeah,
symbol of Nimrod.
yeah,
It's supposed to be
yeah.
the erection
Right.
of Nimrod. And all its church steeples just the same.
So
All the church
let's get back
steeples,
up here.
it is what it is, and it's profane in the sense that it's aiming up towards the heavens. It's a
Right.
rebellion towards the heaven. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So that's why you'll see most church steeples. If you was somewhere and they're up above the trees, if you was up on a high hill somewhere and
Hmm.
you could see church steeples peaking up above trees, because this is the mental of where we are. You know what I'm saying? This ancient Babylonian custom all mixed in with ancient Egyptian and all mixed in with Sodom. That's why I was telling you about that one message with those three involved right there, because that can be very, very deep. That Egypt, what I said, Egypt, Sodom, and Babylon.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but yeah, that what's up. So yeah, it is what it is. Though it's still a part of the deep sleep. We don't have no clue of how these people rocking and what's going on in their mind, and they making our people worship. They ain't making them. They slick making them. You know what I'm saying? Slick.
The sad thing is these young people, they supposed to be so this and so that. They don't even have a clue as to what's going on. They won't even investigate it. They won't even take a second, 30 seconds to look one of these things up, you know?
Sadder than that is all older people too. At this point, it should have been on some shit done been on
All
rung a bell.
people.
It should have done rung a bell right now.
I'm
But
talking
I see
about
more.
master's degrees, you know?
Yeah, I see more elderly people though, older than me, older, especially the women. The women have lost their mind. The older women with these box cuts, where they walk around with construction boots on. This attire as a dude now. It's a
Yeah.
lot of elderly women. Just for some reason, they done took on this lesbian custom more than I see elderly men trying to be women.
Yeah.
The women trying to be men is just. But this the spirit this going back to the garden again. It's going back to ancient Egypt, trying to uphold the woman, the goddess, is the woman that's the head, or she's God. You know what I'm saying? And they putting that power,
Yeah.
that spirit on our people, and we falling for it.
Women's liberation did
Con,
did some bad things for our people.
it ain't had nothing to do with us neither, but we wanted to be a part of it. So there you go.
Yeah, we
All right,
did. Yeah, there you go.
all right.
So, going back to the scripture right here. If
Let's
y'all
get
want it, I'm gonna give it to you.
let's
We'll
get
be
let's get 21.
21. Because that when they knew Elohim, they
Mm-hmm.
glorified him not as
Mm-hmm.
Elohim,
Mm-hmm.
neither were thankful, but
Mm-mm.
became vain in their imaginations, and their foolish hearts was darkened.
Deep sleep,
So,
deep sleep. He put them. They foolish heart was darkened, and the Most High just gave them over. So he darkened their heart.
foolish hearts was darkened.
That's right. I'm gonna let you walk
Professing
around dead, basically. Go ahead, brother.
professing themselves to be wise, they became fools.
Mm.
Oh, I got a doctorate degree. Yeah, but you pledge into some, okay. And changed the glory of the uncorruptible Elohim into an image made like to corruptible man,
Yes, sir.
and to birds, and to
Uh-oh.
four-footed beasts, and
Uh-oh.
creeping things.
So we know what this going into right here now.
Mhm.
This is the ancient Egypt worshiping. When you see these people, it changed the glory of the uncorruptible God into an image like unto corruptible man. That's mixed up bestiality, bird heads, or animal heads on top of
Yeah,
human
yeah,
bodies.
yeah.
It just go into the whole wickedness of these customs. Because them Grecians, they stole a lot of them. It's just regurgitated customs from Egypt and Babylon, ancient Babylon,
Hmm.
in Nimrod's time, and they just take these
Hmm.
customs and they'll change the name of the gods or the goddesses in whatever generation it is, from Greece to Rome. They still use this, just like you got Zeus or you got all these other deities that was in Greece. They took them, they changed the names into this, that, and third, but all of them were the same gods. You know what I'm saying? They were the same all the way from back to Egypt, all the way back to, like I said, during the time of Nimrod. They just changed the names, and the game is still the same. All right, go ahead, bro.
Wherefore the Most High Elohim gave them up to uncleanness. Okay, so he gave them up. There's gonna be three places he gives them up in here in this verse this chapter.
Okay.
He gave them up to uncleanness through the lust of their own hearts,
Mm-hmm.
to dishonor their own bodies between themselves.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, remember that he gave them up to uncleanness. Verse 25, who changed the truth of the Elohim into a lie,
Who
and
did?
worshiped and served the creature more than the creator,
Job
who
9:24 did it. Mm-hmm.
ever, forever, amen.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 26, for this cause Elohim gave them up, number two,
Okay.
unto vile affections.
Okay.
For even as their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature. Verse 27.
Oh my goodness.
Likewise, what's
Mm-hmm.
that?
I just said, oh my goodness, man. Because we live in it. We live, actually really living this all over again, man. So it is what it is. Go ahead, bro.
And likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman, burned in their lust one towards another, men with men, working that which is unseemly,
Okay.
and receiving in themselves that recompense of their error which was meet.
Okay.
Verse 28.
Mm-hmm.
And even as they did not like to retain Elohim in their knowledge,
Period.
period, at
Hey,
all.
man. That's that deep sleep. That's the deep sleep. Yeah. Go ahead. A total, hey, total conversion. This is a total
Uh-huh.
conversion from which Israel. We only concerned with our family right now. Is what Israel is supposed to be doing. This is a total conversion and rebellion. And rebellion. Because we know better. I told you that. The Most High said over there they knew better. Okay, go ahead, bro.
Elohim gave them over. Number three,
Mm.
gave them up to uncleanness, verse 24.
Mm-hmm.
Gave them up to vile affection, verse
Mm-hmm.
26.
Mm-hmm.
Gave them over to reprobate mind, verse 28. To do
Okay.
those things which are not convenient.
And
Okay?
that's light. That word is light, right? That very lightly, put
Yeah.
in there. Convenient is
Yeah.
light. But go ahead. Go ahead.
Being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication. You brought something out of Revelation, habitation of foul, all unclean foulness.
Same old, same old.
Yeah.
It had to be brought up again
Mm-hmm.
because it's end game. It had to
That's
be brought
it.
up again. It didn't never fade away, man. It never faded away because once you know why it didn't fade away,
Well,
because of who's in charge.
there you go.
The same people still in charge. Those are their customs.
The same people.
Yeah, those are their customs. We just taking on other people's customs. We read it in Baruch 3:10, and we read it in was it Isaiah? Did we go to Isaiah?
Mm.
We read it earlier. Oh no, that was First Kings too. We had to
First King.
forsake
First
ourselves,
King
yeah,
8
in the land of our enemies.
and 8
We had to
47.
repent. We had to repent. But we won't repent according to Paul right here. Ain't no repent. So Paul bearing witness to his own family members that they just don't lost their mind, really. But he's still teaching the word. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Yeah, he's still teaching the word, man. Man, you can't stop reading this. You got to read all this.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you just can't. You just
Okay.
got to. How can you cut any of this off, man? Shit. This is where we at, man.
All
Okay.
right.
All right.
Being filled with all unrighteousness, verse 29.
Mm-hmm.
Fornication,
Mm-hmm.
wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder,
Full of envy, murder,
envy,
and
murder,
let me tell you something.
debate.
The most murderous of murderers is the I sent you a video. I don't know if you saw it, but
Kind of,
this Edomite did the video talking about this mess right here, and he said they the most like I already know. He said they the
most dangerous.
most dangerous. And I'm gonna tell you something. Let me tell you something. These right here, these violators of self, especially the ones that are in charge, coming from this serpent seed from the beginning. This is what was going on in the time of Noah. All this mixing up with the what is this? Verse 23 right here.
Mm-hmm.
All this stuff in verse 23 over here is what was going on in the time of Noah. You know, animals and humans mixing, have these fallen ones or whatever, the sons of the angels mixing themselves with any and everything that moved. Okay. Now, when you
Mm-hmm.
go into the Hebrew and look up that word, when it says "Son of God" in Genesis 6, and you look up that word in God, and you scroll down in it, and it says angels. Then it says Nephilim. When you get into it, then it's when you read the word Nephilim. So the word, when they first start pushing this agenda strong over here, after when Obama got in, they start pushing it super duper heavy, and they came with this term bullying. Stop bullying people. Don't be
Oh
a
yeah,
bully.
yeah, yeah.
They're throwing that, putting that in people's mind. Here's the deal. It was those guys, those ones in verse 23 that was putting that vibration out, saying don't be a bully, because they didn't want nobody to look down on them for what they were doing, right? So they
Mm-hmm.
went there. But in actuality, it's them that's the bully, because they is pushing this. That's the bully mentality, when you forcing and pushing and poking. And you see what I'm saying? It's them who were bullying, but they told you not to be a bully.
They put
So
their hand behind their back. No, we ain't doing nothing.
So I brought this out to say, when you look up that Nephilim, go in there and look at that up. And when you read down in there, you'll see out of one of them terminologies, it'll say bullying. And I
Mm-hmm.
know that comes from that. See, these people know, they got that knowledge from back then. That's why we are that closer to getting up out of here. You know what I'm saying? For this place to
Yeah.
be destroyed. Because that's that time of before Noah. And that's what Mashiach was talking about. And I'm just putting all that stuff together. Okay, so the bullying you can't make that up. They implement bullying, but then I look it up in the Hebrew and go into the Nephilim, which is a part of this mixing and all this foolishness, and it's right there, bullying, and that's them. I just had to
All
go
day.
there. I just had to go there. So
All day.
yeah, I just had to go there because we was what? You was here. You was saying what did you say? Full of envy and murder. We were talking about murder,
That's it.
and they are the bullet. They the mass murderer. And that man said some of the most vicious murders. If you seen that, he said some of the most vicious murders
Mm-hmm.
came from them.
That's them.
Yeah, so that was and I'm gonna send you something else on it because he did too. I'm gonna send you some today when we get through. I want you to study for me. I want you to see
All right.
something. I want you to see something that I had seen before. I saw him do it. I had already seen this. Then for him to come back with it again, okay, that was the Most High. I said, okay, boy, you need to see this. We need to see this. Me and you and the world need to see this. I'm gonna show you something out. But let's finish reading this. I had just jumped there because it took me back to 23, and then 23 took me back during the days of Noah, and I just had to bring
All right.
all to the forefront. Go ahead.
Full of envy, murderers, debate, deceit, malignity, whispers, backbiters, verse 30, backbiters, haters of Elohim,
Lord.
despiteful, proud,
Mhm.
boasters, inventors of evil
This
things,
is what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
disobedient to parents.
Evil thing, inventing evil stuff, sex dolls. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Sex dolls, sex toys, just little bitty stuff that you can go in the room and you can defile yourself with. You know what I'm saying?
Defile your spirit.
Yeah,
That's
you
defiling your
and
spirit. That's putting a
sexual
blemish on
animation.
your spirit. Yeah.
Yeah, sexual animation. Anything that comes to their mind. People, I seen women riding on bicycles on animation, and she's sitting on a male private part,
Yeah.
and she's riding. It's just anything that can come to the wicked mind. You
That's
understand?
over here in 21, verse 21. It says, because they became vain in their imagination, their foolish hearts were darkened. Do you not know that when you're born, you're given a light, and the more good you do, the brighter your light shines? But then when you start doing this, you start lying, you start going against cheating, breaking these commandments, that diminishes your light. So
Mm-hmm.
when it diminishes your light, it's actually drawn in these when your light is bright, it repels these evil wicked ones. But when it diminishes, oh, that's dark, we can go over there and hang out, come
They
on,
was just talking the same thing he was talking about those vessels
these
with,
vessels,
with the
right?
spirit. You see what I'm saying? Uh, housing they looking for. If they can't get in here where the light is, you know what I'm saying?
Place,
They're looking
right.
for an empty, dark
Dark,
cave.
dry place, dark and dry.
That's right,
That's,
That's right, So we
so
still that family with the deep, and Paul breaking it down. All this is according to, this is what got us in a deep, deep, deep sleep. And it's so deep,
that's
it's
right.
dark. It's so deep that it's
It's
dark.
good.
Most High ain't gonna. The Mashiach said he gonna destroy all this when he come back. If he find anybody, especially starting at our house first, that's connecting with
Mm,
any. Look how much stuff Paul wrote, or 2 paragraphs, or just phrases or words that he can come up with to say how bad off this situation is. That man upset. He's definitely upset with what he is experiencing. Go ahead.
uh,
Go ahead, man.
verse 31.
Mm-hmm.
Without understanding,
Period.
covenant
That's
breakers,
us, because that's
without
dark. That's deep sleep. You have no understanding. You
You ain't
just
got to
doing stuff.
understand it. You're in the dark. Like he
Yeah.
says, let your light shine. That's the whole thing. If you got it within you, your light's going to shine. If not, he says that, this darkness is going to take over, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Because that's deep, man. That's deep sleep. Period. Flat out. You don't have no understanding. You just doing whatever the world do. The only, and what's funny to me, bro, is a fad usually don't last that long. A fad,
Right.
they
Right.
come, might hang around, then they get on out of here. One fad that ain't left yet, and I'm tripping on it, and that's the sagging of the pants.
Mm.
It's
Mm.
been around since the 90s. Since Tupac come with that foolishness stuff, sagging his britches, and everybody jumped on the bandwagon, and it been that way ever since. Its mess ain't changed yet. So that fad, I noticed that the other day. I'm like, wow, Negro pissed me off early in the morning. Him talking about, man, his pants he had on up,
Mm-hmm.
skinny like this right here, man. So he's so skinny, and they were so skinny, but
Yeah,
they were
that's right.
freaking. And then he had the nerve to have them hanging way down there. I'm like, they done mastered how to ride a bicycle with their pants on their thighs. This Negro walking around with a baby in one arm. He trying to hold his pants up in the other. I'm like, is it that serious? Is it that serious? You know, it's just, walking all the way down the street, man. Your pants on your thighs. Come on, man. We looking bad out here. This is the deep sleep, y'all. We're in a deep sleep. Come on, let's keep it moving, bro. Wow.
Okay. Verse 31. Without understanding, covenant breakers, without natural affection, implacable, unmerciful, who, knowing the judgment of
Uh-oh.
Elohim,
Uh-oh.
that they which commit such things are worthy of death, not only do the same, but have pleasure and
Oh,
them that do them.
hold on, man.
Let
Paul said they worthy of death. They knowing. He said they knowing this.
me read that again. Who,
He said they know this.
who
The word
know
and the law
the
be brought.
judgment of Elohim? They know the judgment of Elohim.
Mm, that's
That
us.
they which commit such things are worthy of death. Not only do the same, but have pleasure in them that do them.
See, see, that's too much. Let me tell you something. It says knowing that who knowing the judgment of the Almighty power. Meaning, we go to what 147 Psalms. You know, we go to Psalm 147, verse 19 through 20. They the only one know the judgments, and as for his judgments, they have the other nations ain't known them. So this scripture said who knowing the judgment. Because this is who Paul talking to. And I have to keep telling people that these are the Gentiles right here. I mean, you got Gentiles in here that mean other nations, but for right now, this is to the brothers over in Rome, man, who going way off, man. They going way off. Paul went to his people, man. Paul went to his people. But it's clear to us. It's not clear to everybody, you know what I'm saying? But scripture just said who knowing the judgment. They know the judgment, you know, that they which commit such things, according to the book of Deuteronomy, should be put to death. You feel me? They know that.
They know.
They know that, man. That's what Paul's saying. So Paul just quoting scripture. You know what I'm saying? He's just quoting scripture. He ain't making that up. Ain't no New Testament. He's telling them, y'all know better than this, you know? But, you know, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Let me go get me some drink right quick. So lucky, y'all.
All right. It's sad, fam. Knowing. Say they knowing. Who knowing the judgment of Elohim. They know the judgment. And they know that what those things that they commit are worthy of death. Verse 32. Not only do the same, they're going to do them, but they're going to teach you to do them also. I don't know.
What's up, one? Yeah, man. All right. Well, yeah, man. So we couldn't go by that. Had to be brought out, you know? All right.
And say who knowing the judgment.
Knowing.
Know it.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to keep doing it. And they're going to get you to do it too. Yeah, let's all get tattoos. Let's all get tattoos on our forehead. Let's all get our cut up bodies. Let's eat pork sandwiches.
Mm-hmm.
You know? It
That's
sound like the Maccabees stuff.
the preachers.
Wrestle naked. They was wrestling naked.
Wow. And they know better, man. What? For $1? You know? For $1.
I give you a couple dollars. You go.
They're going to sell the whole nation out for $1. You know?
I'm trying to let the light shine out.
All right. All right. Well, let's go. Let's go Deuteronomy 28, verse 15. Mm-hmm. 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 We're gonna get on down through him. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass,
Mm-hmm.
if thou wilt not hearken
Yep.
unto the voice of the Lord thy Elohim,
Mm-hmm.
to observe to do all his commandments
And that's what Paul was saying. They know the judgments. Y'all know the
and,
judgments. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? Go ahead.
and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
And it overtook him. And he gave him over. He gave him over. You know what I'm saying?
He gave them over.
It was overwhelming to Paul. You see all that stuff he said they were? Idolaters, backbiters, despisers of the Most High word, da 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 da.
Covenant
da.
breakers. Covenant breakers.
Truth, yeah.
This is the covenant right here.
Con,
Covenant breakers.
con. That's why I pulled this precept, because we know the judgment. We knew better. We knew better. And the brother out there telling it, and he quoting from the Torah. That's all was out. Ain't wasn't no New Testament. Wasn't that but the Torah. Wasn't nothing but the Torah. We're supposed to be keeping it wherever land we go to. You said it. You brought it out earlier in 1 Kings 8.
8:47.
Whatever land we in, we're supposed to repent and turn back to the east, pray to our homeland, ask for forgiveness. You know what I'm saying? We're supposed to do all that. Same with these Negroes in Roma. You know?
Being
But
filled with all unrighteousness.
Yeah.
Fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debate. That's all these commandments right here. You breaking all of them. You filled with it. Oh, see how many more you gonna break? I'm trying to break it all.
Wow.
In this book of broken records, broken commandments.
All right. Well, that's why I pulled that. Let's go to Proverbs 28, verse 4. Yep.
28, what we say? 28, 15.
28, verse 4. Proverbs 28, verse 4. Ooh-wee. Man, we in trouble if we don't come back. I'm telling you, we in trouble already. Out there with all that stuff Paul was just talking about. That's bad, man. And you know, you committing all those acts out there. Where the kids at? See, what you doing that? Where the kids at?
Okay.
What do they see? If Negroes walking around doing all of that, what Paul talking about, what do the kids see?
Twerking, shaking, doing everything.
Got
Being
your
a harlot.
Mm-hmm.
And being thugs.
You got your baby on YouTube. Your baby's on YouTube. You passing your baby a blunt on YouTube. Baby, we're talking about 2-3 years old. On YouTube.
You're sacrificing your child to the world. Here. You're laying your child on the world's altar, saying you can do what I will.
That's the same thing when you send them to school, though.
Yeah. Same thing when you send them to school. That's why if you send them to school, well, see, now the Most High kind of gave you a way out. You know, whether or not you choose to accept it, you better stay home. You better keep your child home. You better try to pull weeds. Every day I used to come home, I was pulling weeds. Get out of work, I'm pulling weeds because I know you got 8 hours. They planting seeds.
Yes, sir.
Now kids in their mind, they're fragile and
Sir.
impressionable. So they have 8 hours to plant these weeds. So you gotta go to work. When you get off work, you still gotta go to work and pull these weeds out.
Hallelujah.
If you want.
That's right, my brother. That's right, Out. Do what you do, bro. Do what you do, man.
Okay. So Proverbs chapter 28, verse 4. They that forsake the law praise the wicked.
That's right.
But such as keep the law contend with them.
See, what Paul just doing up there? Because they were praising the wicked.
He was contending.
He contending. He going in. He going in. The brother upset. He can't believe what he see. You know what I'm saying? It's out of control. But he was contending. So, you know.
We can do 7. We can do 9. They're all the same. They're saying the same thing. Verse 7, verse 9 is all saying the same thing. Keep the law. Verse 9. If
Wow. Mm-hmm.
you're a wise son, you're a wise son if you keep these laws. You ain't
That's
keeping
right.
the laws. I don't care how many books you read. I don't care how many studies you go to, how much schooling, how many degrees. You ain't. Mm.
That's right. None shall want her meat.
Yeah.
None shall want her meat. Period.
That's what I'm gonna want to make.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. So, let's go Proverbs 27:20. Jump right over.
All right. Book of Proverbs,
Yeah,
chapter
27.
27, verse 20.
Mm-hmm.
Hell and the destruction are never full,
Period.
so the eyes of man are never satisfied.
Well, they look like they weren't satisfied up there in Romans. They whatever came to their imagination, they did it all.
They did.
They did it. You know, scriptures ain't lying because they lived it then and we living it right now. Let's go to Isaiah 5. Isaiah chapter 5, verse 5 through 6.
Verse 5 through 6.
Isaiah chapter 5, verse 5 through 6.
All right. Book of Isaiah, chapter 5, verse 5 through 6. And now, O inhabitants of Jerusalem, and men of Judah.
Hold on. Where you at?
Oh, Slakia, chapter 5, verse 5 through 6.
You was up at 3.
I was
Okay.
at 3.
Con.
And now go to, I will tell you what I will do to my vineyard.
Uh-oh.
I will take away the hedge thereof.
They done that. There wasn't no hedge up there in Rome.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
And it shall be eaten up, and break down the wall thereof, and it shall be trodden down. Mm. Now, that reminds me of Josephus when he 70 AD, he took away when he says he's gonna do it in 70 AD, he took it away.
Mm-hmm.
Took away the hedge.
Mm-hmm.
Josephus records it. And Josephus records it. He said he heard the men and they were crying out. They heard okay.
Uh-oh.
Ah.
Everything all right, bro?
Everything fine.
Uh,
Everything fine. I do this every week.
I can dig it, bro.
So, what was we saying?
Who's
Josephus was recording. He said once at 70 AD, once that took place, that they heard the up in the heavens what happened, what took place when they said they heard it say, "Let us depart from this." He saw it happening. He saw this big sword shining up in the sky for an hour. I mean, it was like a whole year. It's like it was like a year.
Mm-hmm.
So the Most High knew what he said he was gonna do. He did it.
Con. Wow. Well, let's read verse 6.
Okay, verse 6.
And this is it, like you said, actually. You know.
And I will lay it waste, and it shall not be pruned nor digged, but there shall come up briars and thorns.
Briars and thorns.
And I will also command the clouds that they rain no rain upon it.
Mm-hmm. And briars and thorns really if you want to get into it, it's like wicked nations,
Yeah.
rising thorns. Because the sower had a handful of seeds and scattered them. Some fell amongst the thorns, and the thorns choked them. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Choked the life out of them, boy. Choked the life out of them. All right. So he gonna make it waste because wickedness was happening here, had enough. You know what I'm saying? Mashiach declared it before he left. Paul was out teaching, but we was all over the place back then. So let's move on. Jump to 13, same book.
Therefore, my people are gone into captivity.
No, chapter 13. I'm sorry.
Oh, you said
I
same
said
book.
chapter 13, same book.
Oh, same. Chapter 13.
Verse 15. Oh, I'm sorry. No, you were right. Jump to 13 through 15. You right.
What book? What?
Isaiah 5, 13. You was right. You was absolutely.
Therefore, okay, chapter 5, verse 13. Therefore, my people are gone into captivity because they have no knowledge, and the honorable men are famished, and the multitude dried up with thirst.
It's over for them. They did, man. They don't know nothing. It's over. We right back at them dry bones again.
That's it. Dried up.
Right back at the dry bones again. So it's a deep sleep. You know, Mashiach came, tried to bring life, that they may have it more abundantly. But hey, his time was fulfilled. You know what I'm saying? Now our time had to be fulfilled. Read on the 15.
Therefore, hell hath enlarged herself.
All because of that stuff we've been doing up in Rome. All that, man.
And opened her mouth without measure.
Mm-hmm.
And their glory, and their multitude, and their pomp, and he that rejoices shall descend into it.
Wow. And if y'all happy about all the things that Paul said y'all were doing with your pomp, and y'all rejoicing in that,
yeah,
hell gonna open up her mouth, and you're gonna descend into it. You know?
That's right.
Let's see, verse 15.
That reads, and the mean man shall be brought down, and the mighty man shall be humble.
That's right.
And the eyes of the lofty shall be humble.
That's right. Do verse 24.
Verse 24. Therefore, as the fire devoureth the stubble, and as the flame consumeth the chaff,
that's right,
so their roots shall be as rottenness.
That's right.
And the blossoms shall go up as the dust. Because they have cast away the law of the Most High, their host, and despised the word of the Holy One of Israel.
And guess what? Because all that stuff you brought out in Romans, I didn't have on my list for bringing out. But this right here lines right up with that, right behind that. And the Most High did that. It lines right up with that, you know? Let's move on. Let's go Proverbs chapter 9, verse 11. Oh, I'm sorry, Proverbs 6. Proverbs 6. Proverbs chapter 6, verse 9 through 11.
Proverbs 6. Proverbs chapter 6, verse 9 through 11. How long wilt thou sleep, O sluggard?
I don't know.
When will thou rise? Sluggard. When wilt thou arise out of thy sleep?
When y'all gonna come up out of this, what we just read in Romans, man? Is y'all gonna make it?
A little sleep and a little slumber. A little folding of the hands to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So shall thy poverty come as one that travaileth,
Yep.
and thy want as an armed man.
Yeah, so your poverty coming is one that travaileth, and your poverty coming since you want to stay asleep. Like I said, and I'm gonna keep saying because this is where we at. You're gonna roll up your sleeve. You're gonna accept 2 doses. You're gonna accept
Mm.
2 of them, y'all. They got to give you 2. Snake venom. Remember that. Bam. They're gonna hit you twice. The serpent ain't playing. You playing. The serpent ain't playing. Believe that. So
Wow.
since you don't want to obey the Most High, He got something for you. He got something for y'all wicked Negroes. Because we out here trying to bring the word to the house of Israel first. The Most High gonna deal with the nation. It's the servant's job to talk to the family members, shake them, wake them, hey, pull them, whatever we got to do. That's our job.
They ain't gonna never listen. I'm sad.
Well,
Sad to say. It's
yeah,
hard.
you
I
see,
see. I
you
see
see,
the state of my people.
you
I
see,
see the state
you
of my
see.
people.
I'm
I see.
glad you saying it because you
They
know
don't.
I be like that with you, and
My
it take
people
you
want
to
to stay
say it.
sleep.
You
They
know,
want to stay sleep. They want to keep hitting snooze, but snooze. Nah, it ain't time. Look, hey, I go to the Most High when I'm ready to get my life. I'm ready. I ain't ready. I'm having too much fun right now.
too
Okay.
much. That's too much, man. That's that Romans again that you just pulled. That's too much. You don't want to hear it. You're gonna buck. You can okay, because you know they're not talking to you. They're talking to the Most High. I'm
Like
just
you
telling you
said,
what the Lord
they
is.
ain't rejecting you. They rejecting. He what he tell Samuel? They ain't rejecting you. They rejecting me. They don't want me to be king over 'em.
It's
So
a
now
dangerous.
back to Luke 19. He said, "Bring all those hither and slay them before
Woo,
me, that would
woo.
not that I would king over, that I would reign over them."
Not good old Jesus.
Mm-mm.
Not good old Jesus. Good Jesus wouldn't do that. But the Mashiach, he would do that. You understand? Yahweh Shah do that.
Represent. That's the thing. That's the thing. He's talking, representing our Father. He said, "Bring all them hither that would not that I would reign over them and slay them before me."
That's cold, man. But we ain't reading. Somebody ain't reading. You know, and I try, I try and try. I try to pray, but like we read what like, was it earlier this week that the
Mm.
heavens above them will be like brass, huh?
Gonna brass. Ain't
It'll be
nothing
like
going
that.
up.
It ain't gonna happen. Me praying for
Down.
them ain't gonna happen. Just stop. Don't even do it. Because the most I ain't trying to deal with it. What goes for us is the same that went for Edris. He told Edris the same thing. Quit roaring about them wicked Negro. Thinkest thou loving them more than me? You know? You know?
Told Samuel the same thing. How
Yeah.
long you gonna cry over Saul,
Yeah.
whom I have rejected?
Right.
Okay. If he done rejected, I don't care who it is. He done rejected you. You ain't
Right.
supposed to. Hey, you ain't supposed. He told Aaron the same thing. Don't cry over your boys. They knew what I told them. They ain't do what they offered strange fire to these guys. Okay, don't cry. Don't even rip your clothes. Don't. Hey, the people will cry. That's all. You're gonna have to continue to be righteous.
Come on.
Mm.
You see the separation of the servants and the sheep. The
Yeah.
servants gotta be
Uh,
strong. You know what I'm saying? You got to wipe
uh,
your tears, Negro. You still got work to do. You know what I'm saying? But it hurt as being one from amongst the flock. It hurts because it's our people.
they're my people. They're my
But
nieces and nephews, sons.
coming into this, yeah, mom and dad and all them, but coming into this walk, we that's a sign what we're talking about now as getting to even know the Most High because we're not fully understanding the ways of the Most High if we're weeping and mourning for our own family. Somebody been taught wrong here. So the Most High said that the heck with them Negroes. This is not pretty, man. This ain't good, but what can I say? What can I do? Let's go to Proverbs 13. Let's walk it on down. Proverbs 13 and 13. Let's walk it on down. Yeah. And
All
what
right,
can I do?
Proverbs 13 and what?
13. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Book of Proverbs, chapter 13, verse 13.
Right.
Whoso despiseth the word shall be destroyed,
Right.
but he that feareth the commandment shall be rewarded.
That's it. So if you're gonna be in a deep sleep, if you don't want to hear us talking to y'all like Paul was talking to them brothers up there, telling y'all to wake up out this madness, You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna be looking good for you, man. You know, we only got a little time left, but we're gonna continue to do what we gotta do until we can't do it. And after that, y'all, it's on and popping. That's all I can say. I'm gonna just let you know like that. You ain't gotta believe it, but don't come knocking at the Mashiach's door at the last minute. He's gonna tell you, get away from me.
Depart from me, I never knew you,
I ain't
you
never know.
worker of iniquity.
Everybody that said Jesus, Jesus ain't gonna get in. So,
I never knew you. We didn't have that
Yep.
relationship. You know why he ain't know you? Because you ain't keep these commandments.
All right, Art.
Him that say they knoweth the Father, keepeth not his commandments, is a lie.
It's a liar, and the truth ain't in him, son.
1 John 2.
So let's go jump down to verse 20.
Okay, we're in book of Proverbs, chapter 13, verse 20. He that walketh with wise men shall be wise, but a companion of fools shall be destroyed. That's right.
There you go. 2 doses again. You want to be with a companion of fools, you're going to be destroyed. All right? You're going to be destroyed. We here to tell you, thus says the Most High, flat out. Jump over to verse chapter 14, verse 2.
Okay, the book of Proverbs, chapter 14, verse 2. He that walketh in uprightness feareth the Most High.
Yep.
But he that is perverse in his ways despiseth him.
Right. And that's what we saw up in, I'm going to keep going back to Romans. Thank the Most High that you brought that out. They despised it. Yeah, the Negroes despised it. They know the judgment, but they continue to walk right down through that nasty path. You know what I'm saying? They want to stay in that deep sleep. They want to stay sleepwalking. So let's go to move on. Jump down to verse 15.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 14, verse 15. The simple believeth every word.
They simple.
The prudent man looketh well to his going.
Yeah. The simple believeth every word. Anything. That the vaccine is good for you. You know what I'm saying? It's good for you. You know, you taking this RFID chip is gonna keep you in gonna have you well off, because we are translating the currency to digital. And in order for you to survive, this is what you're gonna have to do, and they're gonna do it because you simple. Because you simple. Yeah, you're gonna do it. You simple. Okay. How long will you simple ones will you love simplicity? Well, let's jump to verse chapter 15, verse 10. And I'm gonna let you get it from there.
Book of Proverbs, chapter 15 and verse 10. Correction is grievous unto them that forsaketh the way.
It sure is. It sure is. They didn't want to hear that when Paul was talking. They don't want to hear it now if you go out there and tell them, stop going to family reunion. Stop eating chili.
And he that hateth reproof shall die.
Flat out. Flat out. Somebody need to read the Bible. All right. All these wonderful, spreading the gospel to tell the world how wonderful Jesus is. It's a flat out lie. Somebody need to read the Bible, man. So I'm gonna let you run it down from here, little bro. I just put that out there on the table for edification on Shabbat, on behalf of the family. Hey, on behalf of the Most High. I'm just standing in the middle right here, conveying the word, trying to be obedient. I'm still struggling, striving, fighting for the commandments. I'm gonna fight for the truth to death. I'm gonna strive for the truth to death. That's what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
Yep.
That's right, huh? That's right. Yep. That's good precepts brought up. I got three. I just got a couple of them. I'm gonna zip through them because we're going on. We're coming up on 2 hours, huh? So we're gonna knock this out. The Spirit done had us here. 2 Corinthians. Hit over 2 Corinthians, chapter 4. 2 Corinthians, chapter 4.
All right.
I'm gonna have to get up and turn some lights on.
All right. All right.
2 Corinthians chapter 4.
And what verse you at?
Chapter 4, verse 4.
All right.
We're talking about being sleep, deceptive, being deep sleep.
Come.
2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 4.
Come. 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 4. Salaki, you right. Got to turn my light on now. That's right. I'm trying to get down here. Okay. 2 Corinthians chapter 4 and verse 4 reads, in whom the God of this world, Job 9:24, have blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai, who is in the image of the almighty power Yahweh, should shine unto them. It should. But, gross darkness, are the people. Gross.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And gross darkness to people.
Okay,
Yep.
so they're here. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 29.
Okay.
Isaiah chapter 29, verse 10.
All right. All right. All right. Where you gonna start at? Right?
29, verse 10.
10.
10.
I got it. Book of Isaiah, chapter 29, verse 10. For the
Start at
most
verse
high,
9. Start at verse 9. 9 through 10.
9 through 10. Got it. Book of Isaiah, chapter 29, verse 9 through 10. Stay yourselves and wonder. Cry ye out and cry. They are drunken. Yes, they are. But not with wine.
Nope.
Yeah, they stagger. Wow, what a parable. But not with strong drinks. Verse 10. For the Most High Yahweh hath poured out upon you the spirit of deep sleep, ye dry bones, you Negroes out here being ready to take this serpent's venom in your arm, 2 doses of it.
Yeah.
For the Most High Yahweh have poured out upon you the spirit of deep sleep, and have closed your eyes. Y'all can't see it coming neither, boy. The prophets and your rulers, the seers, hath he covered. All of that.
Mm-hmm.
All of that. All of that.
Deep sleep, okay?
Deep sleep.
We going back to what we started off with, Job 9:24.
Again.
Right? The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. He covered the faces and the judges. And right here, he's talking about the prophets and the seers.
Mm-hmm.
Those are judges, and I mean, was right. These people? When you look back, yeah.
And he says, the seers hath he covered. So
your rulers, your seers,
yeah,
your prophets.
Yeah, and 2 Corinthians 4 and 4, what you brought out too. Says Job 9, that was Job 9:24 again. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad we're there, because this is where we at. You can't run away from that scripture no more. Wickedness is abounding, and that's gonna have to be brought out. And it's a spiritual warfare. It does not matter. You got to do what you got to do, Satan. We're gonna do what we got to do. Do what you got to do. Just do what you got to do. All right, that's it. So whatever with that. You and your followers and wicked Negroes that's gonna lead, they follow you right on down through there too. Most High said, they are drunken, but not with wine. They stagger, but not with strong drink. So he done poured out a spirit of deep sleep. You want to stay asleep? It's Most High doing it. So
deep sleep.
Deep sleep.
Kind of like going back to, like we said, the God of this world and blinded.
Mm-hmm.
So he blinded them, so they can't see. The Most High allowed that to happen too. So you got things going on that are against you because you just won't do it. Won't do right. Can't get right. Right? Can't get right.
So he gave you over to what? Your own lust, or over to what?
Back to Romans. Okay, you want to do that? I'm okay. back to that. Back to Romans. Yep. So now we're gonna go to Let's go to Romans 11. Slocky, Romans 13. Romans
Oh,
13.
they had enough of Paul by now after that sermon.
Yeah.
They don't want to see. Take the word of the Most High away from them. Teach unto us smooth things. We don't want to hear that. Let the Most High cease from amongst us, please. We're too busy doing what we're doing. I don't got no clothes on. You around here telling me to put on clothes.
What I say? Romans 11. Let's go to Romans 11 first. All right. Romans 11, then at Romans 13. Romans 11, verse 8.
Somebody might jump on you about this Romans 11 here, boy. You see, because these about the Gentiles. These the Gentiles.
No, we coming here because we talking about being asleep. Y'all sleep. Y'all need to wake up. Romans 11 and verse 8.
I got it. Book of Romans, chapter 11, verse 8. Let's get that.
All right. Go to chapter 7. We got to hit this in chapter 7, then 8. 7 and 8.
Verse 8?
Yeah.
I mean,
verse
verse
7
and 8.
Verse 7, then 8.
Okay. Romans chapter 11, verse 7 through 8. What then? Yashar'Allah, Israel, have not obtained that which he seeketh for. He can't because he sleep. But the election have obtained. Praise the Most High for that. But the election have obtained it. And that's the calling right there. Israel sleep, man. All right, let's see. And the rest were blinded. Y'all see, y'all hear that? What then? Israel have not obtained that which he seeketh for. He's groping in the daytime. He's groping in the daytime.
Mm-hmm.
He can't see it all. But the election from Yashar'Allah have obtained it, and the rest were blinded. That's Most High's will. Verse 8.
The rest were blinded. Remember that. It said the God of this world has blinded them. Right? So tell me right here, come mouth of two witnesses. Hit verse 8.
Come on, and the scriptures bears witness too, right along with us. You feel me? To correct it. We actually accommodating the scriptures. Verse 8, according as it is written in the Torah, the Almighty power Yahweh has given them. Oh, you just done that there. Has given them. That's backing up. See, scriptures bearing witness again against itself. Okay, let me read that again. Verse 8, according as it is written. All right, in the Torah, we just read it to y'all.
Isaiah 29, verse 10. That's right.
Just read it in Isaiah. The Almighty power have given them the spirit of slumber. Ooh, eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear unto this day. And that's why every time I come to you, now I don't be wanting to proclaim certain stuff, but you be like, oh no, this is it. It's that, is this, ain't no. I'm like, okay, well, what can I say? Then you pull the scripture, and then what can I say? Nothing I can say. So, hey man, my heart is there, but the Most High don't care nothing about how I feel. You know what I'm saying?
He telling you how it's going down.
Right. Y'all can't say I didn't try though. I tried.
Yeah.
Most High rejected my prayer for y'all. He rejected my prayer for y'all. He told me that they were blinded. He gave y'all over. So it's nothing, you know what I'm saying?
So this is the last one I got. Romans chapter 13. Well, last two. Romans 13, verse 11. Romans 13, verse 11.
Okay. Romans chapter 13, verse 11. And that, knowing the time, that now it is high time, for sure, man, to awake out of sleep, y'all. This is it. For now is our salvation nearer than we believe. And that's what I was talking about earlier with the AI and all this madness that was mixing and minging back then, and it's happening right now. And now they finna get tainted with 2 doses. You know what I'm saying? They don't know if that's artificial intelligence is gonna sneak right up in them, man, and do something dangerous to these people, man. They have no idea who they're messing with. We're dealing with modern day Frankenstein and Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde here, who have no problem with putting a hamster in the wheel with putting a monkey out for a test dummy, putting a monkey on a spaceship, sending to space, or shooting an innocent deer while he trying to just get a drink of water, cut his head off and hang it on the
That's who
wall.
they are.
We
That's
don't
who
know
they
what
are.
we're dealing with. All right, pull your precept, bro.
Okay, it's high time to wake up. Okay. Next, last one, we got Isaiah chapter 51.
Mm-hmm. And knowing this, now that it is high time, y'all, to awake out of the sleep, man. Wake up, family. Still got a little chance, but I don't know. It's gonna get ugly. Some of this stuff, I don't know if you can bounce back from. Right? I don't know if you can bounce back. I don't know, man. You lay in the bed with men for 3, 4, 5 years. Most I say you can repent, but I don't know if them thoughts will ever leave your mind. So, you know, it is what it is. Isaiah chapter 51.
Chapter 52 verse 1.
Come on.
52 verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all 52 verse 1.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Okay. Isaiah chapter 52 verse 1. Awake, awake. Put on thy strength, O Zion. Begging y'all. Put on thy beautiful garments, O Jerusalem. Wake up, Jake. The set apart city. For henceforth there shall no more come into thee the uncircumcised and unclean. So, hey, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is.
He's going to wake us up. He's going to wake us up his elect.
That's right.
When he wakes us up, this is the end time prophecy.
Let me, you pulled that, I'm going to go down one. It says, verse 2 says, shake thyself from the dust. Shake it off, Jake. You got to shake it off. Shake it off, Art. You feel me? Arise and sit down. Oh, Jerusalem, you know, be comfortable. Once you rise and wake up out of it, you get a chance to be comfortable. Loose thyself from the bands of thy neck. Come out of that madness. You know, you got your own self caught up in vain philosophy. You know what I'm saying? You got your own self caught up in that. All right? Oh, captive daughter of Zion, because we still captives. We won't even accept that we slaves still. We think we free, y'all. We think we free. Right now today, we think we free. You feel me?
Yeah, I know.
We think
I know exactly.
And I'm a
you can't tell.
I'm gonna go back to where you were. It's the last precept in Romans. You was in Romans and you was in 11. And I'm gonna pull this and be through with it. Romans 11 verse 9. I'm gonna pull that, and it said, and King David said, let their table be made a snare and a trap and a stumbling block and a recompense unto them. Verse 10 says, let their eyes be darkened that they may not see, and bow down their back always. It's not good, man.
Bow down your back always. Break.
Always. Yeah, man. So we done ran up, like my brother said, we done ran up over 2 hours. You know, Spirit had us in here today. Quick 2 hours, real quick. But we had a chance to do something for the family, do something for the Most High. You know what I mean? Do something for the family and do something for the Most High. And then that's the main goal, to do something for the Most High. Because the Most High is only dealing with a remnant anyway. The brother brought that out because the election have obtained it. The rest of Israel is blind. They're in a deep sleep. All right? But we still going to try.
They think they're free. Like you said, they think they're free.
They think they're free, y'all.
HaMashiach said in Matthew 17, when he said, who do the kings of the earth take tribute? You know? Matthew 17, 25, 26, 27. He said that if you still paying tribute, then you ain't free. You still paying taxes, you're not free.
That's right, Doc.
You still worrying about that? Paying your taxes, you're not free.
That's right.
Matthew 17, 25, 26. Somewhere around there. When he told
glad you said that, because the end off on that is right now with this. I was gonna send you. I don't know if I sent it to you. That this one guy, he put out a little information that they're about to go into this whatever this recession, depression. But they said right now the homeless, it's about to be a lot of evictions. due to the first time when they cut the close the country down. It's about to be a lot of evictions. First off, they're gonna start with the so-called Negroes. They got it all listed. Then the so-called Hispanics. Then the so-called Asians. Then da 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 da. But it's about to jump off. That's another one. You got to wake up, Jake, because it's about a lot of stuff is about to happen. A whole lot of stuff about to happen. So, and they think they free, like you said. That ain't freedom. You still worry about paying rent, paying bills. That's not freedom. You know, it's not freedom. You know, it's not freedom, man. So I thank the Most High for that. But my brother, he took me down the road today. Thus says the Most High, even though I tried my best to pray for y'all, but I can't pray because the Most High shut my mouth up and caused me not to utter a word. My thought was there, but my mouth couldn't even utter the word to pray for the family. You know what I'm saying? Because the Most High, I don't want to pray against the Most High or go against the Most High's will. That's what I don't want to do. And I love y'all. I love my family, but the most, like he said, the Most High said, you don't love them more than me. I'm the one who upset with them. If it was up to y'all allow them wicked Negroes to come into my house again. You know what I'm saying? That ain't happening. That ain't happening now. So John 17:9, the last one. He says, I pray for them. I pray not for the world. See? But for them which thou hast given me, for they are thine. And those that he done gave them is the ones in Romans 11, the election that have obtained, that had an ear, the ones that can see. They can see. But the rest are darkened. Like King David said in verse 10, they darkened. Their eyes was darkened. They can't see. It was a stumbling block. It was a trap. It was a snare. So with that, we want to give all honor, glory, and praise to the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Ba'ashem Rakah walk the water. I want to thank the Most High for allowing me to partake at his dinner table with my brother Aki Adanaya, Kwam Yashala. We are COTP. And, we'll get back with y'all in the short future, family. Shalom.
Shalom, fam.